episode of Swashbucklers! It is Wednesday, which means we are at our halfway point. But don't worry, we still have lots of fun to be had. And don't forget that all our episodes are still on YouTube, so you can watch back your favourite parts whenever you want. One of my favourite parts of a week is seeing what you're getting up to. So why don't we look at yesterday's pictures in the Galleys Gallery? And we start with a range of pirates, some definitely more fearsome than others, and their parrots and their trees, taking us back to day one when we discovered that God is the powerful creator who made us to know him and love him. Next up are some of your catapults and activity sheets. Brilliantly constructed, awesomely completed, and a fantastic reminder that we, just like Adam and Eve, mess up. We choose to ignore God and we don't treat him like he deserves. And there are consequences for our disobedience, just like there were for Adam and Eve. Those of you who saw our countdown at the beginning have already had a sneaky preview of some of the fantastic activities we're going to be getting up to today. So make sure you've got a drink and a biscuit and something comfy to sit on, and let's do this! And we're going to start with the Motley Crew Challenge. Already we've seen that Adam and Andy have made it into our best Buccaneers camp. But who is going to join their ranks? Well, today Fasayo, Sharon and Tim are going to be competing with the Bottle Flip Challenge. Who do you think is going to manage to land the bottle the most times in 30 seconds? Let's find out now. To try at home, and let's face it, you couldn't be any more useless than Tim or Sharon, could you? In fact, who thinks they should walk the plank for those mighty poor efforts? Shout louder? Louder? Yes, that is a resounding yes. So I'll see what I can do about it. And why don't you see what you can do about filming yourselves flipping the bottle and sending it in? Or perhaps you'd prefer to try our game at home. Let's hand over to Andy and Caroline, and I have to warn you, it's splash-tastic!
Now this challenge is called Sponge Dodgeball. Okay, you might have played something similar in the past, but this is the most dangerous, it's the most scary challenge of all. We're going to be playing dodgeball with these sponges. Now the challenge is to get your opponent, in this case, Cutthroat Caroline, and get her as wet as I can. Now you simply get your sponge, fill it with water, stand back, aim and fire. Now you have about 2 minutes to get your opposition as wet as you can. Now I've travelled many seas and many oceans, and nothing's quite as scary as what we're about to play now. So, do you take on this challenge? Do you dare? I wish you well, my friends. Right, Cutthroat Caroline, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you steady?
I'm steady.
In 3, 2, 1, challenge! Oh, thank you. Oh, Oh, she's a good aim. She's a good aim. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, Captain. Come on, shipmates. Help me out here. Oh, it's treacherous. Oh, dear. Oh, it's choppy water. Oh, yes, that was a good aim. A good aim. Oh, my aim is good. Oh, yes. That's it, shipmates. Oh, it's choppy out there. Oh, she's retaliating. Come with it. Okay. Oh. In 3, 2, 1. Charge! Okay, I'm finished. Now, guys, it's over to you. Who do you think is victorious? Is it Caroline? Is it me? I think we have a winner. Well done, Caroline. Well done.
Dear. Oh dear. Well, it was pretty fun getting wet, and we didn't really mind because we knew that we're perfectly safe and that we'll dry off in the end. Oh, I'm worn out. But in today's true story, Jesus' friends, they were not so happy about getting wet. They were being battered about by the waves, not by wet sponges. And they were terrified they'd drown. Now let's find out what happened next.
Hello again. I hope you're ready to listen, because we have got to whiz through like thousands of years to get through to today's true story. God made the whole beautiful world, but it was broken, it was ruined when God's own people, they listened to the lies of his enemy and they took the fruit that they were told to leave. And since that day, a curse has followed people through every generation. Down through the years, the people lived and died. Families fought, nations sent armies against armies, kings ruled and crushed their people, but through it all, God had a special people, Israel, a people he spoke to, a people he taught, who he reminded of his promise. A child will come, God had said, one who will crush the enemy. Through the years, the people were waiting, watching. When would God send his chosen one to fix what was broken, to turn back this curse? Now, fast forward 2,000 years ago, Israel to a man. Now, when he was young, his mum and his dad named him Jesus. And now that he was an adult, he had travelled away from his family, from his home, so that he could teach people about God, healing sick people with great power. He had chosen 12 special followers, disciples, his friends, who had been close to see everything that he did. And on this particular day, Jesus was tired. See, he had been teaching and healing all day. I know I'm tired after teaching all day, and he was a man like me. What do you do to relax when you're tired? Do you sit in the garden? Read a book? Or maybe you'd like to kick back and snooze in a boat as it drifts out on the lake. Well, that suited Jesus just fine. So he went with his disciples out on the lake. He lay down in the boat, head on the pillow, and was fast asleep before the shore was out of sight. It was lovely, with the sun setting, a bit of a breeze out there. The breeze got stronger. Clouds quickly blew in. These were dark clouds, black clouds, and that cool breeze quickly became a biting wind that rocked the boat. And before long, the waves were rolling across the lake, some so big that they crashed into this little boat, and water started to spill over the top and fill the boat. If the disciples weren't panicking already, they certainly were now. See, they knew this lake. They knew boats. And they knew that if this carried on, then they were in serious danger of drowning. The only one who didn't panic was Jesus. Through all of this, the wind and the water and the shaking of the boat, he slept on. And the disciples, these 12 scared men, they couldn't understand it. He'd been teaching all day about God and his kingdom. He'd healed anyone who came to him. And now he wouldn't even get up when his friends were about to die. Well, they grabbed him and they shook him and they shouted, "Hey, teacher, do you care if we drown?" Jesus stood. His face was calm. He knew exactly what he was doing. And when he opened his mouth, he didn't speak to his disciples. He looked out over the lake. And he spoke into the storm. Quiet, wind. Waves, be still. And then the wind died down. And it was completely calm. The clouds cleared. And the first stars could be seen above them. Now, how do you imagine the disciples felt now? Do you think they said, "Oh, thank you, Jesus, well, it's your turn to steer the boat now"? No, they couldn't speak a word. They were absolutely terrified. They just stared, open mouth, at this man who only 2 minutes ago he had been snoring. So, Jesus though, why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? Well, they didn't know what to say. They think, well, why are you so afraid? Did you just see what happened? He told the wind to stop and it stopped. Eventually, one turned to another and he said, "Who is this? Even the winds and waves obey him." Who is this? I mean, didn't they know? He orders the waters, he commands the storm. Who is this? Hadn't they been with him for years, hearing him teach, watching him as he overturns the curse, one sick person at a time? Who is this? They still don't understand. This is Jesus, God's powerful, perfect Son. A man, yes, but God too, here directing his creation. This question is one we've all got to answer. Who is this man? Do you see that he's the one who was promised? Well, if you don't, then you'll always be scared of this incredible power, like the disciples in that little boat. But if you see who he really is, then the next question is, well, how is he going to do it? If he's the promised one, then how is he going to turn back the curse? Well, you'll have to come back, because I'll see you tomorrow.
Wow, that really is mind-blowing stuff, isn't it? Jesus speaks, and just like that, the storm stops. I wish I could have done that yesterday when I got soaked from head to foot by the rain. But I can't. And you can't. Only Jesus can control the weather. Only Jesus is the promised, perfect, powerful Son of God. That is truly mind-blowing. And what else is mind-blowing is what Adam said at the end, that Jesus came to reverse the curse. But how? Well, you need to come back tomorrow to find that out. However, our song shows us that he really did provide a way for us to be forgiven and forever in God's family. So let's celebrate as we dance and sing to our shanty. And you know what? These words are based on bits in the Bible written by one of the men in the boat. Wow! John wrote it in his book called 1 John, and it's in chapter 3 and verse 1. That's why we go 1 John 3, 1. It's like an address for the Bible, so why not check out what John said about Jesus later. But now, let's sing!
Don't it blow your mind to see the awesome kind of love our Father has got? Don't it rock your world to know you can be called a child of a powerful God? Don't it blow your mind to see the awesome kind of love our Father has got? Don't it rock your world to know you can be called a child of a powerful God? For that is what you are if you trust in Jesus. That is what you are when you're faith in Him. Don't it blow your mind to see the awesome kind of love our Father has got? Don't it blow your mind, 1 John 3 and 1. Don't it blow your mind. Don't it blow your mind, 1 John 3 and 1. our Father's God. Don't it rock your world to know you can be called a child of a powerful God? That is what you are if you trust in Jesus. That is what you are when you're faith in Him. Don't it blow your mind to see the awesome kind of love our Father has got? That is what you are if you trust in Jesus. That is what you are when you're faith in Him. Don't it blow your mind to see the awesome kind of love our Father has got?
Taken a battering, and I'm not talking fish batter. I was getting so into blowing my mind actions that I banged into a flagpole, and I'm not happy about it. Ouch. How about you? How did you get on with the actions and the words? Don't forget to send in a video of you. Or perhaps you'd like to send in a photograph of something else getting a battering, and by something else I mean a boat. In today's True Bible story, we heard how the boat and the people in the boat were being battered by the wind and the waves until who spoke? That's right, until Jesus spoke. So we're going to make a boat to remember the story. Let's find out how now.
This parrot, I've had him so long. I've had him since Christmas. And that's why it's called Holly Polly! Ha ha! Why are pirate ships so cheap? Because they're on sale! Ha ha! Why does a pirate carry his cutlass? It hasn't got any legs! Ha ha! Why can't you write with a broken pencil? It's pointless!
You're not going to believe it. I have found a cannonball water bomb. But who shall I throw it at? What's that you say? You sure? I think I'll go for Ian or Sarah. Whoever loses today's quiz will get a soaking. So are we ready to play? Wait. Before we do, I actually have found 3. So if you're not quicker on the buzzer or don't answer more questions than them, watch out!
Question 1. What did Jesus do when he got into the boat? Ian.
He fell asleep.
He did fall asleep. Collect one of your cannonball bombs. Question 2. What happened to the weather? Oh, Sarah.
Really stormy.
It did get really, really stormy. Collect your cannonball bomb. Okay, 1 each. How did the followers of Jesus feel when it was stormy? Ian.
They were really scared and afraid.
They were really scared and afraid, even though lots of them were fishermen. Well done. It is 2-1. Question 4. When they woke up Jesus, what did he say to the weather?
Be still.
He did say, be still. It is 3-1. What does this show us about Jesus that he could stop the storm? Sarah.
He's Lord over everything.
He is Lord over everything. He is God's perfect, powerful Son. Well done, Sarah. Pick up your water bomb. But sadly, Sarah, you got 2 and Ian, you got 3, which means you get to explode the water bombs over Sarah. Take it away now.
Wow! It's almost time for another episode of Jimmy and the Pirates of Peril. So far, we've seen how Jimmy ignored the instructions of the king. He decided instead of accepting the invitation, he would join the pirates. Yesterday, we discovered the consequences of that decision as Jimmy ended up overboard and being surrounded by sharks. Will he survive? Let's find out now.
I think they've gotten away.
Never mind, we'll catch up with them some other time.
Captain,
What?
I think there's something down there.
What, in the ocean? Where?
Help! Help!
Quick, throw them a rope. Identify yourself.
I'm Jimmy.
Weren't you the boy that we saw on the quayside when we were recruiting?
Yes, sir.
And weren't you on that pirate ship a minute ago?
Yes, but...
And isn't that a pirate scarf you're wearing?
Yes.
Then that makes you a pirate.
Yes. No, hang on. I'm not a pirate. I just sailed with them.
But did you or did you not go with them willingly, though?
I did. Even though you were told only to trust the sign of the crown. Wait, hang on. How did you know about that?
Well, it doesn't matter about that. You consorted with the pirates. That makes you a pirate. Ship's boy, what's the king's command concerning pirates?
That they be made to walk the plank, Captain. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. The king's commands are true and just. They have to be obeyed. Step onto that plank.
Wait.
What?
Make me walk the plank instead. What? Make me walk the plank instead of Jimmy. He shall have thy royal pardon and be set aside at the next sight of dry land. Let me take his punishment. But why?
Well, there's nothing in the king's commands about that. But are you sure?
Yes, we'll swap places.
Well, we're just coming up to an island now. Jimmy, you can get off here, but I hope you find what you're looking for.
Thanks, Captain. I can't believe it. Why would he swap places with me? Because the captain was right. It was me who deserved to walk the plank.
After all, I did refuse to join the Navy and sailed with Black Patch Jack instead. And now, yes, I can just see him. Someone I hardly know is walking the plank instead of me. There he goes. I can't believe it. Why would someone die for me? And what will I do? I'm marooned on a desert island.
Shiver timbers! The ship's boy from a Navy ship has only gone and taken Jimmy's punishment. He's walked the plank in his place, and now Jimmy's stranded on an island. What's going to happen next? You're going to have to check back tomorrow to find out. And in the meantime, why don't you do 1 or 2 activities from today? You could start by making a boat up from your craft pack or ideas from a Pinterest board below. You could race it maybe against someone else in your family, or how about you have a bath and put your boat in it and create waves and then shout stop and see if you can stop it rocking in the storm. 1 note of warning though, if you do that, you are going to be scrubbing the decks and mopping the floor for hours, and your grown up might not like it. So maybe just stick with making a boat. Or perhaps you want to take the bottle flip challenge and see if you can beat Fisayo, the ship's boy. You may want to keep practicing your dance actions. You may want to go at the sponge dodgeball and give someone a proper soaking. See if you can get them as wet as Jesus' friends were in today's true Bible story. Choices, choices, choices. And I'm not just talking about where to go on the map. I mean, choosing what to film or photograph and send in. Well, before you make your decision, let me tell you about today's competition. Yes, that's right. There's another opportunity to win tickets to Gulliver's Kingdom. But how? Well, since we had a story all about a storm, and it was pretty stormy yesterday in Bedford as well, I thought we could make storms in a bottle. So you need to find an old drinks bottle and put some water in it and a bit of oil. Maybe you want to add some shaving foam or some food colouring. You might want to pop in some glitter, stick on some stickers, or get out some pens. You can be as creative as you like. Even go on Google or Pinterest for ideas, and then send it in to us by 6 o'clock. Yesterday we had some fantastic entries to our competition. So many varieties of boats and pirates made out of food. Big well done to you all. But of course I had to choose a winner. Except I didn't choose a winner. I chose 2 winners! So have a look at these beauties and give a big round of applause to Chizara and Zach! Tickets for Gulliver's Kingdom will be heading to you and you very soon. But for now, well, I've got to get back to hunting for some other treasure, not just Gulliver's Kingdom's treasure. So I'll see you tomorrow at 10. Bye-bye!